lying position. And just allow the arms to fall by your side, allow the feet to splay outward. And let's just ground ourselves before we begin. Always coming back to the breath. And just noticing how this simple action done by our body, whether performed consciously or unconsciously, gives us so much. Let's take 2 deep breaths in and out through the nose. And 1 deep breath in through the nose, and then let's sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's walk the feet towards the sit bones. And on an inhale, sweep the right leg up towards the sky, and we'll take some gentle ankle circles. Just moving in one direction. And then changing directions. And then release the right foot to the ground. Let's sweep the left leg up. And do the same on the other side. Just letting any cracks and pops happen, knowing this is totally natural. And changing directions again when you're ready. We'll aim to move with gratitude for our body today, and mindfulness around what it does, how it supports us in our lives. Let's release both feet down to the ground. And on an inhale, let's lift the hips, squeeze your glutes, squeeze the lower back. Allow the upper body to stay heavy on the mat. And exhale, release. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to lift, draw the knees together. And exhale, lower. Last one. Release the hips back down to the ground. Let's draw the knees in close to the chest, reaching around, hooking onto the knees or the shins. Just rock and roll from side to side. Massaging out the lower back. And keeping the feet off the ground and the knees bent, let's go ahead and take the hands back down by our sides. And this time draw them out across the body. Feel the chest open, feel the lower abdominals engage. And then we'll take a gentle twist and drop the knees over to the left. Keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. And use your core strength to draw you back through center. Let's go ahead and lower them over to the right. There's a beautiful dog bed in my way. And come back to center. Extend the left leg long. Reach around and hook onto the right shin. Let's hug our face nice and close to that right knee. And then extend the right leg. and hook onto the left. Let's move through this a few times, just alternating legs. Feeling our abdominals gently engage as we lift the upper body into somewhat of a hollow position. And last one. Good, let's have both knees in. Release the head back down to the ground. Rock and roll side to side once more. And then let's begin to rock back and forth, massaging out the long edge of the spine. And rock and roll your way all the way up to a seated position. Let's go ahead and cross the knees, coming over the top into tabletop. And find your foundation here. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Knees stacked under hips, hands stacked under shoulders. We'll move through some cat-cows. Inhale to drop the belly and lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Press the floor away from you. Inhale. Come through cow. Exhale for cat. And come back to your neutral tabletop. Let's walk the hands slightly forward, setting up for downward facing dog. Go ahead and tuck the toes. And then when you're ready, lift the knees and send the tailbone high for downward facing dog. Pressing through the palms, pressing through the fingertips. Just settle in here. Notice where you land. And then let's straighten the right leg, bend the left, and gaze through the left arm. And swap to the other side. Alternating legs, alternating the gaze. And come back to your neutral downward facing dog. Go ahead and straighten the legs a little more if this is accessible. And then with both feet, let's step to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold. Bending the knees as much as you need here. It's early in our practice. There's no need to dive as deep as we can after a full day of activity and feeling really warmed up. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands and step both feet back for plank. Hold here for 3 breaths. Draw the belly button to the spine. Tense the quads. And then slowly with control, lower all the way onto your belly. And go ahead and untuck the toes. And on an inhale, come up for baby cobra. Finding a gentle back bend, lifting the gaze. And exhale. Release the forehead to the mat. Let's take the hands to the outside edges of your mat, pressing through the fingertips. Elbows make a 90-degree angle. And on your next inhale, let's peel that upper body off of the ground. Lift the gaze. And then exhale, drop the right shoulder, gaze to the left. Inhale through center, and exhale, drop the left shoulder, gaze to the right. Inhale to lift, exhale to release. Keeping the hands where they are. Let's take 2 more here. Inhaling, pressing through the fingers. And exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Take the hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. And using your strength, let's press ourselves into a plank. And then send the tailbone back for downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep the right leg back and behind you. Stack the hips and open the body to the right. Drawing the right knee over to the right elbow. Hug the knee in nice and close, and then step that right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Coming into lizard. Let's go ahead and lower that back knee. Untuck the toes. And staying high on the fingertips. Option to come down onto the palms or maybe the forearms. Just breathe into the hips. Then begin to turn the right foot so that it's on the outside edge and the knee falls out to the right. You can move in circles here or back and forth. Just feel that right hip. Begin to open up with a bit of movement, a bit of stretching. Ground through the left hand. And inhale, sweep the right arm up and behind you. Windmill that hand back down into center. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. Same movement here. Ground through the left hand and inhale, sweep the right arm up and back, coming onto the outside edge of that left foot as you turn to the back of your mat. Bring the hand back to the front. Grounding through both hands here. Let's go ahead and lower that back knee once more. And then begin to shift your weight back as you straighten the right leg for half splits. Deep hamstring stretch. Stay high on the fingers if you like. Or begin to fold over top of the right thigh. Bend into the right knee. Let's frame that right foot. Untuck the back toes. And step forward to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands and step both feet back for a high plank. Hold for one breath. And then press back for downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep the left leg back and behind you. Stack the hips. And drawing the left knee over to the left elbow. Let's go ahead and step that left foot to the outside edge of the left hand. Lower the back knee. Lizard. And allow the hips to soften as the hips begin to open. Inhaling to create space. Exhaling to relax and soften. Let's begin to come to the outside edge of that left foot. Left knee opens up. And again, take some small movement here. Drawing circles, or shifting your weight back and forward. And then grounding through the right hand. As inhale, sweep the left arm up and back, gazing behind you. Cartwheel that hand back down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. Same movement, let's inhale and then come on to the outside edge of that right foot. Good, come back through center. Let's go ahead and drop that back knee once more. Begin to shift the weight back as you straighten the left leg for half splits on the other side. Bend into the left knee, frame that left foot. Let's go ahead and tuck the back toes and step forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. And inhale, sweep the arms up, come all the way to standing. Palms touch, and release by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up once again. And exhale, hinge from the hips. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the fingertips and take a giant step back with the right leg. Let's go ahead and lower that right knee down. And inhale, sweep the hands up for a low lunge. You can stay here on the hands, or you can begin to press into that left knee. Take the fingertips back down to the mat. Ground through the right hand, bend the right knee, and reach around to grab onto the right foot. Coming into a quad stretch, you can begin to pull that foot closer to the body. And release the right foot. Take both hands back down to the ground. Step that right foot forward. Come to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. This time stepping back with the left leg. Let's go ahead and lower that left knee down. And inhale for a low lunge. Keeping the hands high, or perhaps pressing into that right knee. Let's frame that right foot, ground through the left hand, and begin to bend that left leg, drawing the left foot close to your body with the right hand. Release the foot. Tuck the back toes. And sit both feet back for a high plank. Hold for one breath, and let's press back for a downward facing dog. Gently walk the hands, just one hand length closer to the body, coming to a shorter downward facing dog. And then let's walk the feet to the outside edges of the mat, finding our yogi squat. So staying high on the fingers, and then taking our time to sink the hips down, opening the knees up, pressing through the knees with the elbows. It's important here that your body is upright. We're not hunched over. If that's happening, just stay high on the heels. Use your fingertips, or perhaps just place a block in front of you for a bit more balance. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then gently make your way onto your sit bones. Okay. Extend the legs out in front of you and give the knees a little wiggle. Just find some organic movement. And then coming to face the long edge of your mat, let's go ahead and cross that left leg and then draw the right leg over top, coming into cow face. And just sit upright here. Allow the hands to rest on the feet. Inhale to sweep the arms up above the head. And adding the arms into it. Let's take the right arm underneath. The arms cross over and the palms touch. And draw the elbows up and away from you. And breathe here into the shoulders. Release the hands. And now for a transition to the other side. You're going to keep the feet where they are and plant the hands on each side of you. Begin to lift yourself up and walk your hands to the back of the mat, rotating the feet as you go. Walking the hands around the other side, coming to the top. And then bend the right knee down to the ground, and the left leg should cross over this time. No worries if you didn't quite make it, just swap legs. It's no big deal. And once again, find that tall posture. And go ahead and inhale the hands overhead. This time, swapping the stacking of arms. Let's go ahead and cross them over. Left arm on the bottom. And draw those elbows up and away, creating space between the shoulder blades. Just release the arms. And go ahead and just gently unwind the legs. Coming into a cross-legged position. Anything that feels good for you. Let's take the hands to the knees just for one moment. Let's find that tall spine. And then take the right fingertips behind you. Inhale to lift the left arm. Let's find a twist, crossing the left hand behind the right knee. Gaze back over the right shoulder. And inhale, sweep the left arm up. Plant the fingertips behind you. Let's reach that right arm up and cross the back of the hand behind the left knee. And inhale, come back through center. Let's take the hands to our knees and find 5 deep breaths to close down our practice. And keeping the eyes closed, let's think of one thing that we are grateful for today. And bring a small smile to your lips. And bring the hands to heart center. Take a gentle bow of gratitude for yourself, for showing up.